Welcome to another video in the series of Bricks 2.4 and above. Today we're going to take a look at one of the key new features added in 2.4, and that is the new media browser. So this gives you a nice integrated way of handling not just media, but additional things like posts, pages, custom post types, and so on. So let's go take a look at how we open this up and see the options that are available. So to get access to the new media browser, have any page or template open with the Bricks editor, and then simply come up to the top where we've got the little browser icon, or you can use Command Shift and a period or full stop, and that will open it up for you. So let's open this up. You can see we can maximize this, so let's do just that. And then down the left-hand side, you can see all the different media types that we can actually manage and handle. So templates, components, posts, and so on. You'll also see the number down the side. This is a keyboard shortcut that allows you to easily jump between any of these browser sections. So for example, if we press 5, we'll jump straight into the courses section, which is a custom post type. Press 6, and we jump into media, which is things like your images, video, fonts, and so on. So let's start off, first of all, right at the top, because various different parts of this interface will change slightly depending upon what you have open at any point from the browser options. So at the moment, we're previewing the template section. So these are the templates that are part of this copy of Bricks. As you can see, I've only got one, which is the framework preview. So before we take a look at that, let's take a look at the top right-hand side where we've got some options that are available to us most of the time inside the browser. You can see you can close the browser, or you can full screen this. By clicking it, we'll take it back to the sort of modal version. Clicking it again will take us back to the full screen. Pretty simple. Then you've got your search option, which allows you to search, obviously. Then we've got the source. At the moment, it says My Templates, which is exactly what we can see here. But you can see we also have Bricks templates. So things like wireframes or design sets. And if you have more additional template groups in here, you can have those listed here as well. So if you were using something that like Bricks Maven, for example, and you've added that in, you'll get to see those inside the browser here. So for example, if we switch over to wireframes, this will then open up all the wireframes that are part of Bricks. As you can see, there's quite a lot here. But you'll notice now that we've opened this up, we've got some more options based upon this particular wireframe set. You can see we've got bundles. So if you're organizing your templates in this example into different bundles, you can see we can sub-filter those down from here. So we may want something like the forms. You can see there's our form template. We want to come in and say, for example, we want hero sections. There's a bunch of hero sections. Then if you're using tags to organize things, you can do that here as well. So grid, pop-up, and so on. And then if we want to, we've got the type. So you can see headers, footers, single, and so on. The different types of templates that you have. These are different, obviously, to the bundles. Bundles are what you want to apply to it. The tags are, for example, when you create a template that is an archive template or a footer template or a single post type template, they're organized inside here based upon that, which is a native function inside Bricks itself. Then we've got the option for how we want to preview things. Currently this is being shown in grid, but you can switch this over to masonry, which gives you bigger previews, as you can see, or you can come over and you can set this to be list if you've got tons on you, and you can see we've got the little previews and everything here. Let's put this back into the grid view. When we hover over, you can see we now have actions. This is pretty much the same as what we've always had when you take a look at the templates. So for example, you can insert, you can import templates, or you can preview this. Click on preview, will do as its name suggests, open up a new tab and allow you to preview that particular template in all its glory. So that's the basics when it comes to templates. If you switch over to components, I don't currently have any components here, but that will give you the same kinds of options. You can search, you can preview these based upon their usage in this example, and you can switch between the different views. And we've got this more options, so we can import from here as well. So you can see there's different options and some similar options depending upon the context of what it is you're looking at. Posts. Native WordPress posts. You can see I've just got the hello world here, and from here I can edit this in WordPress, I can duplicate it, and I can open it in a new tab to preview it. Again, we've got our same search. We've got the option then for our different post results, so all or just published ones, and we can choose how we want to sort these. And again, we've got the option for how we want to preview them and the settings available. You can see these are slightly different, so the number of posts per page and whether you want to show the author and the date in which that post was published. So if we take off the author, for example, you can see that removes it from our preview. If you're the only author on a website, well, you can disable that. It doesn't make any difference, but the option's there should you want it. Pages basically work in fundamentally the same way, just pages instead of posts. So pretty cool. Now, of course, this is a custom post type. Now, currently, I don't have any actual posts here, but if we did, we'd have the same kind of options we have in the normal WordPress posts, but it would be for a custom post type. Now, if you're enjoying this video and getting value from it, and you'd like to be notified every time new content like this is added to the channel, why not go down and hit that subscribe button down below this video? And while you're down there, why not give it a thumbs up to tell YouTube you enjoy this kind of content? But if you don't enjoy it, well, you can hit the thumbs down button twice, as that seems to work pretty well too. Anyway, let's get back on with this video on the media browser in Bricks 2.4. So again, it allows us to easily manage not just native WordPress functions, but also custom things that we add in from custom post types and so on. So it does give us a nice centralized location to handle all of this kinds of data and media and so on. And then the one you'll probably spend most of your time in would be the media itself. And as you can see, this breaks things down into various different types of media. So your images, your video, your fonts, documents, and so on. And as you can see, it gives us basically the same kind of preview as we'd see inside the normal media library inside WordPress itself. However, this is nice, it's integrated in, and if we select a particular image, you'll see that opens up a preview on the right-hand side, and we get the same kinds of options that we have as part of the native functions in WordPress. So you can choose the title, the alternative text, caption, description. It'll also show you the generated sizes. So if you have custom sizes here set up, you can see it'll show you all the different sizes. If you click on any of these, it'll open up a preview of that particular image. You can also do things like copy the URL, you can download the file, and you can delete the file. And you can step through in much the same fashion as you can, like I say, in the normal WordPress. So that's pretty nifty. If you want to edit any of these, for example, you can do, but that'll open up the editor that's part of the native WordPress. It doesn't do anything inside this particular browser. This is just for browsing, not for editing and changing things. And then if you want to, you can edit with WordPress and you can open in a new tab. So it's a pretty simple setup. We close this down, you can see we can search, we can sort, we can filter these based upon various different criteria. So this, by its very nature, means that it's much easier to find the media than what you have in the normal WordPress Media Library. So that's pretty cool. And if you want to find anything that's got missing alt text, always very good. If you're uploading a bunch of information, you do some, or you inherit a site from someone else and you want to check that out, it's cool. You can actually select that and it will show you then all of the ones missing alt text, and then you can go and just click on it and you can rectify that issue by adding in the relative alt text, or you can set it as decorative where you don't really need alt text. So that's the filters and that's the media. That's pretty cool. So we'll just clear all of that. Then from your fonts, you've got a slightly different set of filters. Open this up. You can choose the different kinds, the dates, the file size, minimum, maximum, and you've got things like media health, which we'll come on to in a moment. And again, you can filter, you can view these in different layouts. Not that's really showing you much here, but it is there if you want. You can upload fonts from here, and you can come to the settings, and you can customize this as well. And again, we've got the option at the bottom to trash anything from here. Now, you'll notice we've got this health option. What exactly is the health? As you can see, my media health is 2 out of 6 are healthy. I was scanned 1 minute ago. So what exactly is the health of your media? What does that even mean? Well, if we now take a look over here, you can see the libraries are replaced by these kind of different criteria for the health of the different media you've got uploaded. So for example, this shows you all the issues, so everything. But then if you want to see any broken files, any that have got missing alt text, missing image sizes, images that are oversized, so they're too big for what you've set up as your preference, obsolete formats, so things like TIFF files and so on. Then you've got how many decorative images and any healthy images. So where exactly does this information come from? Well, if we click this little cog icon, this is for our settings for our media health. This will now open up the settings, and inside here, this now allows us to set what we want to configure. So for example, do you want to have media health even part of this? You can turn it off if you don't want it, but also what checks? Oversized, missing, broken files, obsolete formats, and so on. And then you can configure what relates to them. So for example, images over 1 megabyte would be considered an unhealthy file. Fonts are over 0.5 megabyte, documents over 5 megabytes, video, and so on. Then you've got your obsolete file extension, so bitmap, TIFF, depends, different spellings and so on, you may not want to have specific formats. They will be shown up then as unhealthy. So you can configure how this works, or you can completely disable it. Again, it's one of those things that's quite useful if you are working in a collaborative environment, or you inherit a site, or you're just uploading stuff and you'll worry about things like that later. This may be quite a useful little feature. The fact is there is handy. Whether you want to use it or not is obviously entirely up to you. Now, if you're a Happy Files user and you install that, you will get some extra options here. You'll see now I've enabled it and I've got this folder uncategorized. This is a folder, the default folder you have as part of Happy Files. So if I create a new folder here, and we'll just call this Happy Files Test, no parent, that's fine, and we'll hit save. We now have Happy Files Test. So let's say we want to move these two images. We'll select them. And this now opens up this extra set of options so we can edit the metadata, download them, move them, regenerate image sizes, or delete permanently. Let's choose the option to move. And you'll see there's our media folder, our uncategorized, and our Happy Files Test. Let's choose Happy Files, click Apply, click Closed, and now we've got two files inside there. So that's inside the Happy Files folder structure. So now, if we just come into anywhere that's got some media inside our editor and click to change this, you can see this automatically brings up the media library. But if we take a look on the left-hand side, there's our Happy Files Test. We can select that, choose the image we want. So whichever we want to use from here, we'll choose this one and insert it. There's our file and hit save. That's using the organization we have as part of Happy Files. And if we come out into the normal WordPress Media Library, you'll see Happy Files is installed and we have the Happy Files Test, which is our new category. And there's our van and our offboarding. And our uncategorized, anything we didn't categorize, like our fonts and so on, are all listed here. So it's a two-way workflow. You can create it inside here, or you can create it inside the browser that's part of Bricks. So let's test that out. Let's add a new folder. So we'll add one in from here. We'll call this one Browser Test and click on Create. And while we're at it, let's go and just drag in this image, pop that inside this. We've got one inside there. So you can see there's our browser test. If we click to open this up, there's the image we added in. So if you are a Happy Files user and you already have organization in place, when you update to 2.4 and you've got everything set up, you'll be able to see these directly inside the normal Bricks browser as well as your media library. Now, the other cool thing is this isn't restricted to just your media. This also works if you apply it to posts or pages and so on. So if you set up, like I do, Happy Files to organize your post structure so everything is organized nicely, it'll work here as well. So if you open up posts where I've added it in, you can see there's uncategorized. Well, we can add a new one in. We just call this blog posts and hit save. We can drag this then into blog posts and let go. There's our blog posts added in here. Again, if we come into WordPress, into the posts this time, you see there's my blog post, the new category or the new folder I just created. Click inside there, and there's my hello world added in. If I remove that or do whatever I want with it, add new content in, it's all two-way synced between the two different sites. So it's quite cool, and I'm a Happy Files user. It's probably one of the best deals I've bought in a long time. I've got no affiliation to it. I paid full price for it, and I got the lifetime deal. And I think it's only about $50 now if you want the lifetime deal. So if you like organizing your media, your posts, your pages, templates, all those kinds of things, whether you're using Bricks or something else or just native WordPress, Happy Files Pro is definitely one I would recommend checking out. Link will be in the description down below, same as everything else in this video. So that's basically the new media browser that's shipping with Bricks 2.4 and above. And if you use it with Happy Files, you have even more ways to organize and manage your content. A great pairing. But as always, I pass this over to you. What do you think? Is this something you see yourself using, or are you happy just working with a normal WordPress media library? Let me know in a comment down below. As always, all applicable links are in the description. My name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.